So how do you then expect those who do not belong to the MPP to react to Dr. Bawumia if he appears on the ballot? So whereas he is the strongest contender in the current MPP internal primaries, he would also be their biggest weakness going into any election that he contests, for as long as the economy does better than what he inherited. You take an objective position in terms of designing a strategy that will best suit the MPP and deliver victory. You must think about this carefully, whether or not he best represents your aspirations, given the circumstances that prevail currently. It is not an easy thing to do for many people, but somebody in the MPP must be doing some thinking and analyzing what the stakes may be. The truth is that if you brought, I'm not a fan of Kennedy Japan, but trust me, Akwesi, I'm not campaigning for him. He has his own flaws. But the point is that if Kennedy Japan was a candidate, there are things you could hold against Dr. Bawumia that you cannot hold against him. At the very least, he is on record to have publicly disagreed and criticized his own party.
Now, connected was the number one. A compare Kennedy Japan. This time around, the spokesperson for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Ora Felix Fosu Kwakye, Akeneti HSE, me per meno, Nensama Wakano Chese, a nipa obe successful, obe succeeding after John Dramani Mahama administration. Enyo bibia se akompra ko Kennedy Japan na edie na man de sans mi betu dwa abusia interest na oye NPP ni oye Ghana ni oye obi a oman ne da wakoma so anka bonsam na ye nyina ye bompaye se akompra ko Kennedy Japan eba be president because eya na enye common se opposition party ebetimi akanfo anase obetimi endorse obi. Yes. Second, the Japan one NPP. Felix Fosu Kwakye obi anim say on ne nya busua na yi bia also NDC. Nesha dance here with differ Kennedy Japan. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia obi anim say a fine gentleman, but the economy no how our dollar koye, how we see share Ghana football, how we see certain questions Emma John Dramani Mahama then time. Na yedisti anema no as vice president economic no oma manage no wentimi afakoto anyen kwan na je se ogu nanado danko akufo na nimu ase ogu Ghana nimu ase ogu NPP nimu ase won na recommend Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no omo nyina ensesi form na Felix Fosu Kwakye ebie nsem so obakaya na Johnson Asiedu nketia the general secretary ede nsem bi betutu dwa se ono Kennedy akọ parliament pay na onim Kennedy ayesa ba find form because amanyo sama munyi na omaya ache na Kennedy obi a se omuyi NDC ne MPP sem firi hɔ a obi a owatu ho ache wo de dwuma man so onya wo ye no ye ne yie enti ono se even Kennedy kura ba no ɔre ne fagbera na abusia ye che se why kura wo obi an contest obekɔ no post na abusia Kwakye na ka se bi Kwakye na ye obi a no hosti the seat ewo netu emo kwotwere bibi fa akompra ko Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na otwere ye no na Kennedy hu no se dabi dikwa o keka nsem fa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ho na oyi nadi but wo bi enu se ko yi nadi de anka obesore atia Kennedy wo chese Kennedy ye obi a onu no da se won ne ye adwuma or ye one of the best. What's a Ghana this time around? Yen na ye di ye vote any yempaye eta akompra kwachi. Yen brani ntie Felix Fosu Kwakye nsema ene odi atudwa. Interesting. Gemfi Media 24 subscribe channel no na share this video for my.
The truth is that I've had cause to comment on the same matter and I've indicated that despite all my disagreements with Dr. Bawumia, I mean, the honest truth is that having served as vice president for that long, having been the running mate for that long and having lost an election, I beg your pardon, he's likely to carry favor with MPP delegates purely born out of sympathy. The fact that he's made some efforts, so let us push him so that he's able to add a bit more efforts to win the election. So that, for me, is really not an issue. It won't be surprising that he emerges. The last time round, when he had all the establishment backing him, he clawed just above 60% or so. This time, he does not appear to have the backing of the establishment. And I've said it here before. They may deny it, but everything indicates that he doesn't have the support of President Akufo-Addo either. Because you see key key Akufo-Addo supporters, people who are extremely loyal and are currently even working around President Akufo-Addo, even in his capacity as former president, supporting Brian Achampong. So it gives indication that perhaps the establishment support is elsewhere. But I still think that he will sail through. What remains to be seen is the margin by which he would win. I heard, as I walked in, I heard Manje Bruce recite a litany of what he believes to be Dr. Bawumia's attributes. But Isakwesi, all of that doesn't matter in election, trust me. Because all the qualities that Manje Bruce listed, and all the qualities that my brother here would have listed about him, and what his supporters will say about him, you can find in 1,001 people in Ghana. So those qualities don't set him apart from anybody else who wants to contest elections. The defining thing for the electorate, and you see, the Ghanaian electorate, as is the case with every electorate everywhere in the world, are rational decision makers. When they go to the polls to vote, they vote because of something. 99.9% of those who go and vote do not have any personal affiliation or connection with the people contesting elections. They don't know them. They are not their family members. They are not their friends. They may not even have seen them before. What defines their decision making is what they expect will be the outcome of that decision. And we have seen Dr. Bawumia before. They touted his credentials. Indeed, they attribute every policy implemented by the MPP government to him. They say that he implemented 33 policies. Is that not the case? But it's when you put all of those together, the outcome was that they bankrupted the economy. We couldn't pay our debt. Our currency nosedived. There was extreme hardships. They couldn't pay bondholders. We defaulted on our debts. The economy was in a mess. Cost of living was high. People were suffering. And in the particular case of Dr. Bawumia, he is the one that the MPP used to front their economic campaign. So everybody knows that he was the man responsible for running the economy. Indeed, that is what President Akufo-Addo told the people of Ghana. Because around 2018 or so, when they thought that there were some economic achievements to talk about, President Akufo-Addo, and I believe my brother was in Parliament at the time, 2017, State of the Nation address, President Akufo-Addo categorically. Okay, sorry about that. President Akufo-Addo, but it's a house of record, so you will find it when you go into the Hansard. President Akufo-Addo categorically stated that whatever economic gains had been achieved at the time was due to the brilliance of Dr. Bawumia. So when the economist turns out, it is Dr. Bawumia who will carry the can, and that is what Ghanaians associate him with. So when he appears on the ballot as the MPP candidate, all that Ghanaians will do will be to compare their living conditions, their living standards, what they are going through, the state of the economy, with what Dr. Bawumia bequeathed them. And I have said it before and I'll repeat it. For as long as this economy does better than what Dr. Bawumia superintended, I do not see how Ghanaians will entrust him with power. Because what will be the basis for doing so? Especially when voters are rational decision makers. You forget about the, the hardcore party supporters, NDC, MPP. There's an unfortunate saying that we politicians like to bandy about, even if you put a goat here, we'll vote for him. It's the most unfortunate, because it tends to denigrate and belittle the capacity of voters. It's the most unfortunate thing. But I guess the meaning is that people are loyal to political parties. But even the MPP themselves are saying that, they have about 2 million supporters who didn't show up to vote. I could say, why would 2 million MPP supporters not show up to vote? If indeed the MPP had so performed that living conditions were great, the MPP supporters were feeling good about themselves, why would they not go out and vote? Even if we were to accept, I dispute that, but even if we were to accept at face value what they are saying, it means that their own supporters were disappointed in their performance. So they didn't go out to vote for them. That is, if you accept the narrative that they are trying to churn out. So how do you then expect those who do not belong to the MPP to react to Dr. Bawumia if he appears on the ballot? So whereas he is the strongest contender in the current MPP internal primaries, he would also be their biggest weakness going into any election that he contests, for as long as the economy does better than what he inherited. So it is a calculus that MPP delegates must factor in. Sometimes emotions trump sound reasoning. We are human, so sometimes emotions get the better part of us. Sympathy can get the better part of us. But if you are an NDC MPP strategist and you wish the party well, and you take an objective position in terms of designing a strategy that will best suit the MPP and deliver victory, you must think about this carefully, whether or not he best represents your aspirations, given the circumstances that prevail currently, It is not an easy thing to do for many people. But somebody in the MPP must be doing some thinking and analyzing what the stakes may be. The truth is that if you brought, I'm not a fan of Kennedy Japan, but trust me, Akwesi, I'm not campaigning for him. He has his own flaws. But the point is that if Kennedy Japan was a candidate, there are things you could hold against Dr. Mahama that you cannot hold against him. At the very least, he is on record to have publicly disagreed and criticized his own party over some of the economic policies. He has that on record. Dr. Mahama, on the other hand, was vociferously defending that record and projecting it as reason why he should be voted for. So whereas Kennedy Japan can distance himself from the poor MP performance, Dr. Mahama cannot.
But what would he campaign on?
No. It doesn't matter. You see, he can campaign on his own steam. And I'm talking political strategy. He can campaign on his own steam. He can say.
How do you
strategize
for us?
No, I'm not strategizing for you. You see, let me finish.
If Kennedy Japan wins the 2028 elections, will be a foregone conclusion for you.
Oh, I'm saying that. Let me finish. No,
but you have.
But if you see, my brother, if you let me land, because of the time, let me land, please. You had your say when I was here. You see, I'm not campaigning for anybody. I'm telling you what the objective reality is. I'm not the one who will choose an MPP candidate, but I'm telling you that if anybody was doing serious strategizing in the MPP, they will factor these in. Who best represents our interests at the ballot, not the brouhaha and the excitement that surrounds internal primaries. Dr. Mahama's record is abysmal. He cannot take it to the market. That is the honest truth. The average Ghanaian who today has seen a reduction in the cost of living, and there's an empirical basis for it. At the very least, when he goes to the pump, he buys fuel much cheaper than he did under the MPP. The businessman who gets dollars at a cheaper rate now than the MPP, what business would he have voting for somebody who took the dollar to 17 cedis on the forex market? Why would they vote for somebody like that? Who would want to choose a worse situation over a better situation when the evidence is glaring? But if you bring others, they may be able to say that we disagreed with this. I wasn't part of this. My record shows that I even, at the time we were in power, told my people that they were on the wrong path. They didn't listen to me. Not that in itself will carry you. Because ultimately, the decision to vote for a party or one party or the other is premised, and Ghanaians have shown it, on what they believe to be the state of their welfare. It is economic reasons that have informed every change in government, even including military coup d'etats. Why? When Achampo overthrew Buzia, what was the reason? Achampo himself, when he was overthrown, what was the reason? Akwesi, was it not about economic hardships? So even military regimes have trumpeted economic hardships as reason why they've gotten rid of democratically elected governments. Since 1992, every single time a party has lost elections, it has been based on economic performance or the lack of it. President Kofo, what was his mantra? Shewa sitinem natu abapa. In 2008, we said better Ghana. We highlighted, and I was neck deep in that campaign, we highlighted economic hardships. I recall that there was some spiraling cost of living crisis around 2007 or thereabouts. In 2016, they also cited economic reasons. 2024, economic reasons was at the top because that was the worst economic period Ghanaians had experienced in a whole generation. So they may not like what I'm saying or what people like myself would say, but it is the honest truth. It is the honest truth. And in these things, I know that there are people who want the status quo to remain because perhaps there are some benefits. That is also understandable. They are considering their own personal welfare in that regard. But for the party, the biggest consideration is whether or not the person you are selling to Ghanaians will be bought and that they will find him acceptable given his track record. Because he has been there before. He made all the noise. Look, he used to deliver lectures on our public debts. When he became the head of the economic management team, what did we see? We defaulted on our debts. So what is he going to say again to convince anybody to trust him with political power? That is a consideration that they must look at.
Listen to Echo Vincent Asafua, and I'm going to the budget after this.
No problem.
Please, I need to.
But you've had your take. No. Let me listen to Asafua and respond to him.
He says, please tell my brother, Felix.
I have to respond to the
AKA the spin master. That he cannot choose our presidential candidate for us.
But have I said so?
They are simply afraid of Baumia.
You see, again, again, rational analysis. How can we be afraid of a man who we beat by 1.7 million votes? What is there to be afraid of? You see, if he had lost by, say, 40,000 votes, like President Akufo-Addo lost in 2008, then you said that he came very close. Look, I contested elections in the UK. I lost by 176 votes. So it was very clear that if some factors were adjusted and things were done properly, I could overcome it. Indeed, I won in 2024 by 11,300 votes. That's the margin of victory. But people had confidence in me because of the margin I lost in 2020, 176 votes, which is less than the votes in one polling station. But we are talking about a candidate who has lost by 1.7 million votes, who you yourselves are telling us did not find favor with 2 million MPP supporters. 2 million MPP supporters were not motivated to go and vote for him. And you are saying that anybody is afraid of him. How can anybody be afraid of somebody we've beaten? And you see, he has this in absolute terms. In percentage terms, it is Mr. Rawlings who got the biggest electoral victory of around 58%, if I'm not mistaken, around 96. But in absolute terms, Bawumia has suffered the worst, most humiliating defeat in Ghana's political history, or at least since the Fourth Republic began.
Before then, who was?
It doesn't matter.
No, before
no, listen, it doesn't matter.
That means
listen. No.
Somebody,
of course, he won't be.
A sitting president
no
problem.
No. Yes.
A sitting
but
president
Dr. Bawumia, a sitting vice president, has not.
They're not the same.
But you are interrupting me. You're interrupting me.
They're not the same.
You are interrupting me. You see, when they go to the polls, as Bawumia himself used to say, manu a manu. It was Dr. Bawumia against President Mahama. They contested that election. What they were or were not was immaterial. The people of Ghana had a choice between President Mahama and Dr. Bawumia, who actually was in power, was managing the economy. And they said that they did not want Bawumia. 1.7 million people.
Who manages your economy?
We do not have an economic management team. We have not counted.
If you let me land.
If you let me land. Alaji, these interruptions.
Allow me to land, and I'll give you the time.
I want to know so that I can
Alaji, but so, you see, when is your turn, you can make any alliance. You see, Akwesi,
who is your arrowhead?
Akwesi, I beg you. You see, nobody put a gun to President Akufo-Addo's head.
Alaji,
are you going to interrupt every word I say? I will come to that.
Alaji, please
just let me land. Please allow me.
I'll give you the time.
I beg you.
No, I'll give you the time.
It's so unfortunate that you are doing this to me.
I'll give you the time.
It is please let me flow. When is your time? You can make your point. I have noticed that you've written a tall list of items. You see, nobody put a gun to President Akufo-Addo's head to tell us that he had gone for Dr. Bawumia specifically. Indeed, as far back as 2008, when Dr. Bawumia did not even have an MPP party card. And this is documented. President Akufo-Addo told us that it was because of his background as an economist that he had gone for him. In 2012, the same argument was repeated. 2016, even before then, in fact, since 2012, Dr. Bawumia has been mounting political platforms to deliver economic lectures. He didn't give lectures on security. He didn't give lectures on gender and women and children. He didn't give lectures on housing. He gave lectures on the economy, economic management. Indeed, they got the Central University to give him a so-called seat. They call it the chair of economic governance. Nobody also put a gun to Dr. Bawumia's head to come and tell us that they had a stellar economic management team headed by him. 100 days after they took over power in 2017, did he not mount the platform to announce the economic management team with he himself as the head and touted their credentials? In fact, he actually went abroad in the same year and said that they had such a stellar economic management team that every week they met to take critical decisions on the economy. They told us this. I didn't say it. We have not come to announce an economic management team, have we? So if you come and, in fact, Westill, he used to go around to lead the economic management team to hold town hall meetings. They held one at the College of Physicians here. In fact, to do that, they actually mounted a giant billboard at the venue and around the city to announce the economic management team. And his poster or his picture was the biggest. And it was clearly indicated that he was the chairman of the economic management team. So how can you come and tell me today that he was not in charge of that?
Well,
what was he in charge of?
Let me.
You see, even that, and again, they are making the same mistake. You know what hurts Ghanaians the most? You see, it was bad enough that the economy had been mismanaged and Ghanaians were going through hardships. But the attempt to distance him from the economic failures cast him as somebody who could not take responsibility. And that is what worsened the economic plan. You see, if you go with the same strategy, you will suffer even worse defeats.
Let me come to you, Aladi, Honorable. And
Thank you.
briefly, so that I can move to the budget. I want to be able to move to the topics we have announced today.
You know, when I listen to my good brother here speaking, it takes my mind all the way back to the period between 2017 and 2019. You know, where all the economic indicators were pointing to the positive direction. Indeed, it was during this same period, 2018 to 2019, that we achieved the longest period of single-digit inflation of 8% in 2018 and then 9% in 2019. We spoke with a lot of confidence the way that he's speaking, but we didn't add this level of pomposity to determine for our opponents, who their flag bearers should be. I mean, to take this level of, you know, I think it marks of some amount of, you know, pomposity, that you know so much within your party and you want to determine for us what happens in our party. I mean, we won't take any lessons from Felix. We won't take any lessons from Felix. You know, the fact that he's attacking Dr. Bawumia the way he's doing tells you something, that he's the candidate that they fear. Look, he says that the vice president never disagreed. When did John Dramani Mahama as vice president ever disagree with Atamos when he was president? Did what's the name? The former governor of the Bank of Ghana, the late vice president, Emisa Atta. Did he ever, you know, come out openly to say I disagree? And has this vice president, the Professor Jena Opoku-Agyeman, has she come out to say that I disagree? You don't do that when you are in government. When you disagree, you state it within. And it is not something that you can come out public to say that because somebody has said that I disagree with the government, then for that reason the person is the best person to lead the party. No. In any event, almost all the people who are contesting this election, except Governor Japan, were appointees of the government. So we are collectively responsible for the successes of the government and for the failures of the government. And so I was asking you, who is your arrowhead as far as your economic is concerned? Is it the president? Is it the vice president? Is it the finance minister? Who? So if there is any challenges right now, who do we hold responsible? Are we holding one person or we are holding the entire government? So I don't even understand some of these things. Look, we had a sitting president who lost the confidence of the Ghanaian people. And he lost by almost 1 million votes. He came back after 8 years and won by 1.7 million votes. So what are you talking about? Okay. So in spite of all the loss and the rejection by the Ghanaian people, he came back and then he won an election. And in any event, he's saying that President Akufo-Addo supports one candidate or the other. Look, there are people within the camp of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo who are supporting, what's his name, Dr. Edichum. Some are supporting Brian Acheampong, some are supporting Kennedy Japan, some are supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So how do you sit here? So that means that you are not even well informed. If you go to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's office, or if you go to President Nana Addo of Akufo-Addo's office, his spokesperson, Fatima Abubakar, who is your immediate, predecessor, he's supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You go, you see for us. He's supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Abu Jinapa was his aide. I said, so watch it. There can't be anybody closer to President Nana Akufo-Addo than these people. But they are supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So it's nothing to do with establishment candidates.